I want to welcome the GMs and the wives, the godly men and the warm, inviting, feminine, empathetic women out there. My name is Thaddeus, and this is the Regal Change YouTube channel. And today I want to talk about how to not spend time, but to invest it. And this is something that I've learned recently. And the reason being is because I now understand that sometimes when God tests you, what he's really looking for is to see how much you can endure. It's not always about passing or failing the test. What's important is being able to always get back up on your feet and being prepared for terrible things so that when the terrible things come and when the problems come, you actually have the resources, time, and energy to deal with them as necessary. And so sometimes you might have to work twice as hard to get half as much. And this is something that I'm very familiar with. And I know that if you're watching this channel, I'm sure that you've experienced this to some degree in one way, shape, or form or another, where sometimes you just feel as though you are going to the extremes to make your dreams come true, and yet at every single corner, there's always something trying to stop you or someone trying to bring you down. And I'm not really friends with the devil, but I'm well acquainted with the devil. Let's say that. And you have to have some kind of level of acquaintance with the devil in order to understand how to pass and fail God's tests. Well, why is that? It's because you have to know how the devil operates. Because whenever you pray, right, and this is something that's been said in the past, whenever you pray, there are two people that are also hearing you, God and the devil, right? So be careful on how you pray and why you're praying about what you're praying for, because ultimately how you pray and how you spend your time praying is going to determine your walk with God, right? Naturally, and as I've mentioned before, prayer is the battle, right? So you really cannot afford to make many mistakes if you have some place to go. And this is something that a lot of people need to understand, is that setting a destination is going to be a big determining factor on whether or not you're actually going to be passing or failing God's tests. You have to set up the criteria and the organization for levels of what you would define as you achieving X and Y goal or X and Y in your life, or whatever kind of relationship you're looking for, if that's what you're looking for, or a career, whatever it is that you're trying to do, get a new car, a new house, whatever. You always have to set up the parameters and the criteria for what a successful life looks like to you. Because success ultimately is only definable to you. And so you really can't afford to make mistakes when you are actually on your purpose. And even when you do make a mistake, you must take it as the opportunity to learn and grow over failure. Because one of the reasons why a lot of people don't want to try, right? Why do people not want to try? Now, as you ponder that question, I want to take a moment and just announce that the Regal Change Academy on School has just been reopened to free enrollment. So if you're interested in actually getting involved within the community, we're going to put it to free enrollment forever, really. That's the idea. The idea is to keep certain courses and certain parameters within the community open and available to all, but we're going to have paid courses down the line whenever you level up within the community. And whenever you engage with certain things or want certain parts of something within the community, that's where you're going to have to pay. But ultimately, we want this to be something that is accessible to anybody that really wants it. Because even in my consultations that I do with people, I don't want anybody to get and not get the help that they want if money is something that is going to be a obstacle. Now, back to the actual video. So, why are people afraid of failure? Why are people afraid of trying? It's because sometimes the feeling of failure, like, have you ever felt failure before? It sucks. It's not fun. But instead, think of failure as a way to grow. This takes a certain kind of mindset. And this goes back to the original topic of today, which is you're not spending your time, you're investing in it. So think about it like this, right? Let's say you have to work on a new skill or something in your free time. And so instead of going to hang out with your friends on the weekend or to go play games, or I don't know what you guys are doing, but I know a lot of people are out there, going to parties, going to drinking games and whatever. They're going to concerts. They're doing things for entertainment, and that's fine. But that's not the kind of life I want to live, and that's not the kind of life I want to be living with other people. I want to live a life where people are building. I want to live a life where people are not entertaining thoughts or the fleshly desires of the world. I don't want to be around people that entertain doubt, right? I don't want to be around people that worry excessively or people that are trying to get you to worry about things. I had a situation recently in one of my business meetings where it was almost like this person was trying to influence me to worry about the situation. And I was just like, I'm not worried about anything, man. Like, do you know that Jesus is my savior? Like, I'm not worried about anything. I know that he's got it taken care of. All that I need to do is just live the best that I can live and grow as much as I can in this life so that when I get to the other side, and when I say the other side, this is what I mean, because heaven and hell this is something I've also been talking about with multiple people lately as well. Heaven and hell are not places. I don't know why Christians think that heaven and hell is an actual place. It's not. And I will stand by this. It's not. Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Well, you can take that in many different ways, right? But Jesus's words are always true. They're always filled with spirit and they're always filled with truth. So the kingdom of heaven is at hand, meaning right here, right now, if you so choose to be in the mindset of joy, you're there. Have you never felt like blissed out? Like, I remember the first time that I really felt bliss. This was crazy. The first time I felt bliss was when I went to a place nearby where I currently live, and I was up in the canyon, and this is now my sanctuary spot after this experience, but I went there, and I was looking out at the little lake there. It's not necessarily a pond, but it's not necessarily a lake, so it's a decent sized lake / pond, okay? And I was looking at the ducks playing, and I saw the ducks playing, and I saw the ducks flying over the water, and I saw the reflection of the duck in the water, and I saw the duck itself. And in a way, I was thinking to myself, like, what exactly is the difference between looking at the duck in the water and looking at the duck with my eyes? And it was like, at that moment, I suddenly started to think about how reality is really based off of perception. Your perception of reality and time exists within the mind itself. You can live in eternity if you so desire. And the reason that I follow Christ is because he is the person that seems to actually applied everything that he taught. Because here's the thing, right? Why listen to people that are philosophizing or trying to preach about certain things if they're not applying it themselves, right? Why listen to those people? Why deal with those kinds of people? And so this is one of the reasons why I take my life so sincerely. I'm not necessarily taking myself too serious, but I take my life seriously. I understand that this is it. This is it. God gave me the gift of time and imagination. Imagination is my most important gift, but time is my most valuable gift. Why? Because time is something that we all have, but we never know when it's going to end. Imagination is entirely up to you. Imagination is completely up to you and your desire to grow closer to the source of creation. But time comes for us all. Father Time is undefeated, right? I've heard that before on social media. It's like Father Time is undefeated. And sometimes it's going to take time, and you're going to maybe have to learn how to take a loss so that you can know how to win. That's something that I really didn't like. I did not like to learn that lesson. I still don't I do not like to lose in my life. I do not like to invest my time and my energy into something and have something on the other side not pan out. I don't like that. I don't like having my time wasted. I don't like feeling swindled. I don't like being lied to. Because guess what? You can lie to yourself. But if you lie to me, you got to be kidding me. Go lie to yourself somewhere else. Because ultimately that's all you're doing when you're lying. Even if you're lying to somebody else, you're still lying to yourself. And so many people don't understand this. And so sometimes just the strength to endure. Think about Job, the book of Job, right? Poor Job. If anybody knows the story of Job, I related a lot with the story of Job in many ways, but Job basically had everything taken from him. And it was very strange, right? God made a bet with Satan, essentially, that Job, because he was God's most faithful, devout follower, that Job would not curse God. And so Satan bet with God, like, yeah, I can do that. I bet you, God, that I could make Job curse you. And even Job's wife in the story wanted Job to curse God, but Job wouldn't do it, because even though Satan was doing all of these terrible things and literally turning his family and his friends against him, turned his business upside down, etc., he lost everything. He started to get he started to get like physically ill, etc. Like, I don't remember the exact disease that he had, but lots of terrible stuff. And yet Job kept his faith. That's astounding. That's really astounding. Some would also, some might say it would be stupid. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that some people would say that. But then on the other side of Job's faith, God rewarded him with everything that he already had before, but times 10 or whatever it was. So he got so much more because of his faith. That's astounding. And that goes to show the power of belief in self and trust in something bigger than ourselves. Because you have to believe in yourself. There's nothing wrong with believing in yourself. But to believe in God and to trust God are two different things in my book. To believe in God and to trust God are two different things. I don't need to believe in God. I don't. I've experienced firsthand God in my life. I don't need to question it anymore. I don't need to question my faith. I will always have faith that God is there because God was there when nobody else was for me. And it took losing everything and sacrificing everything for me to see God. And that's when I realized that what I was really doing all along was learning how to invest my time that I was given. This is something that Gandalf says to Frodo at one point in Lord of the Rings, right? All that we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. So what are you going to do with your time? How are you going to invest it? Don't just spend it. Like so many people spending their time, literally spending their time, partying, drinking, being a degenerate, participating in hookup culture and all this stuff. It's a waste. It's a waste of one of the precious gifts that we all have. So with that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful. And until next time, peace be with you.